everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. This is Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology, and I'm out here driving to my next client, and I thought that I would bring on another guest right here on today's GoTarryn TV show for you. Before she comes on, I'd like to invite everyone out there to please make sure to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. And as you've seen multiple times, one of our best frequent guests, Miss Susan Longley from Finishing with a Flourish, will be right here on today's show. Can't wait to bring her to you and discuss some of the things that she's going to be bringing us. One of the cool things, health and fitness initiative called the Circle of Life, which is new to me, so I can't wait to check that out and share it with everyone here. So it's going to be a lot of fun talking to Susan for the next half hour and just kind of going over that with her. So she's always great. She's fantastic. I'll give her the floor and let her do her thing that she does so well, and that's help people get healthier and all of the health coaching that she does that she'll present to you as well. So we'll have her here momentarily, and when we come back, can't wait to talk to Susan Longley with you right here on GoTarryn TV. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. Susan to come on here to talk about kind of her online health coaching and maybe specifically weight loss for the holidays. But also, I believe, Susan, we have some type of new program you're going to introduce us to. Isn't that right?
Right. Yeah. So it's not weight loss for the holidays, Terry, and let's just say weight management for the holidays.
Weight management for the holidays. That's right.
To lose weight over
that's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
let's just see if we can maintain and stay where we are.
Yeah.
And when January comes, we can start on the weight loss. So yeah.
That's a good point. Absolutely. Well, what is the Circle of Life program, Susan?
Okay, so this is an exercise. This is just an exercise that I use. I got it from. I did my health training at IIN, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and this is just like a little exercise that they have online that I could show you how it works.
Yeah.
This is an exercise that I use with my clients because one of the concepts at IIN and one of the concepts that I've always used is, have you ever heard the expression, the way you do anything is the way you do everything?
I've not heard that, but that's
okay.
Interesting.
People are pretty consistent in the way that they approach most things in their life. So we start talking about weight management, and of course, that's what I'm doing when I'm working with a weight loss client. I'm working on teaching them weight management, teaching them how, as they lose weight, to stabilize their practices and get to where they can manage their weight, and so that they're not going to bounce back up. You know, once they've attained their goal weight, they're not going to bounce back up to where they were before. So that's an important thing to work on while we're losing weight. And this is just a little tool that we use for focusing on how your life is going in general, to kind of getting an overview of your life. And I guess what I like to say is that the person that you see on the diagram, after you finish the diagram, the kind of personality outline that you see is the person that's working on your weight.
Okay.
So you may be working on your finances, you may be working on your relationships, you may be working on your career. There's lots of things that you can be working on in your life. And now you're working on weight management, but the person that's working on all those other things is the same person that's working on your weight management.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
If you kind of like come from the side and look at how you're working on other things, you might get some clues in to what you're doing that works, and maybe what you might want to work on for the with your weight loss. So
okay.
So we can go there. Let me share my screen and start broadcast. All right. So now we're doing a little countdown. Maybe you can edit this out.
Oh, no, it's okay.
So
this is cool. Yeah, this is really neat to see this.
Yeah. So I like working on, not working on just weight loss. because, and I ask my clients not to weigh in. We usually have sessions every 2 weeks, and I say, please don't weigh in right before our session so you can tell me how you're doing. But don't weigh in every day. Don't keep your focus, don't obsess about your weight loss, go turn to some other things in your life and work on those, and just let the weight loss happen. Because if you focus on it, like I say, you tend to obsess on it. So it doesn't work. So I guess I have a slow Wi-Fi here. Are you seeing anything yet?
It says screen broadcast with the Zoom and the time, but that's okay. Yeah, it'll pop up. But while it's doing that, Susan, that's a good point. I think people do tend, and I'll be the first to be guilty of it, I'll admit that when it becomes type of almost obsessing on something like that, it's those, times if we weigh in every single day, it'll drive us nuts. So let's face it, when we're talking about weight loss, it's like we talked about before, it's almost like a marathon, not a sprint day to day. So
exactly,
I think that when
the weight is going to fluctuate day by day. And if you look at it and say, oh my God, today I'm down 2 pounds, or yay, tomorrow I gained a pound, and it's just not productive. So
no, that's true. You're right. I always like to think of it like something today. People are always looking at the stock market every day, and that'll just drive us insane as well too.
That will.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, I think, because if people look at it over a long period of time, then hopefully the end result will be where we want to go with our goals, and that's so important.
Well, this has been 2 minutes, so maybe I should try this again.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. And while you're doing that, Susan, before we recorded, I'll just mention it was something that I've never seen before. It's a program I've never heard of.
What is it?
Just this circle of life exercise that you're introducing us to. I think the concept makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure you're going to talk to everyone and show them when you go around the wheel. Which Susan, you can explain is, how those people feel in their own perception, I guess, of where they feel like they're on in that circle of life exercise, their dot, where that's going to go, and what the goals should be. But when you talk about it being a personality match of how people, and again, I think that's so important, because then I think that gives a good perspective for people to kind of sit back, third person, so to speak, and look at it from the side viewpoint and say, oh, okay, so this is how I handle these things. I guess this would make sense that this is how I address, something like a weight management or a weight loss program.
Right. And then you can also address if there's something on the wheel that you might want to work on, in addition to your weight management, then you could choose to start, taking action to work on those things. And then you might have something that you could see how you do that. And you just want to get insights into how you do things, because like I said, I think I said this before, how you do anything is how you do everything. So pretty much we have pretty consistent way. Like if you procrastinate in one thing, you probably procrastinate in something else.
Yeah.
So pretty much you have patterns of how you kind of approach your life and you approach your tasks, things that you do. And that's what, okay. So Taryn, I'm not sure why I can't share my screen with you.
Yeah, Susan, if it doesn't allow us to do that, what I'll do is when I edit it, I'll overlay when it was working, I'll put that over us talking here in this part, so you can kind of describe it. Okay. If it's not working now, you could go ahead and talk about this whole circle of life exercise, how it lays out, just illustrate it for people. And what I'll do is on the editing side, I'll just overlay the video portion of that over it, what was working. Okay. So, yeah, so I guess talk us through, Susan, like, yeah, maybe give us what it says.
I'm going to pull it up on my phone so that I can see it here, because not
Yeah.
seeing anything. Maybe the broadcast will come through. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Let me find this. Oh, no, I can't. There we go. Can't see. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, so what you can see here is a wheel, a circle divided into different sections. And if we start at the top, the creativity is what you want to do here is you want to rate yourself on how satisfied you are with your level of creativity. And if this is not important to you, then you could rate yourself fairly high. If this isn't something that you want to work on and you're just satisfied with wherever you are on it, it's not like how good you think you are, it's how satisfied you are with each of these. So if you're satisfied with kind of how you're exercising, how you're expressing your creativity, if you're a frustrated painter or a musician, then you might rate yourself fairly low. If you know that there's something creative that you want to be doing and you're not doing it, then you would rate yourself low. If you're not particularly dissatisfied with the level of creativity, then you would rate yourself high. So then we move to finances. And again, it's not how much money you have, but how you feel like you are with managing your finances. Do you have enough to do what you want to do? Do you have enough money to do what you want to do? Are you satisfied with your retirement plan or with your savings or your credit card management or whatever it is? Basically, how satisfied are you? The career, like I would rate myself fairly high on career because this is my probably 10th or 12th career. And I feel like I'm doing well, and I feel like I've kind of managed that pretty well over my life. So I've always had something that I like to do. So I would rate myself fairly high on that. Education, do you feel like that you have the education that you need to do what you want? Are you feeling like you need to go back to school, or are you feeling like you're done? I imagine you feel like you're done. Pretty much.
I hope so. I hope.
Other than ongoing education, of course, there's always things that you do to keep yourself abreast of your field. But if you've got your PhD, then maybe you rate yourself pretty high on that one. So, and then health. How do you rate yourself? Are you as healthy as you want to be? So that's really, all of these are subjective judgments. So what you're going to end up with is kind of a picture of your overall life satisfaction. Physical activity, again, are you doing the activity that you think you should be doing? If you're not running a marathon and you don't want to, then you can still rate yourself really high. That will be very different for different people. And then home cooking is something that, particularly when I'm talking to people about weight management, is I'm trying to encourage them to do more home cooking, because it's very hard to manage your weight when you're eating at restaurants. And it's hard to manage the quality of your food. You have to do some home cooking. So I talk to people about how they're cooking at home, whether they know how to cook at home, do they have the equipment or the habits. Like of going to the grocery store to buy fresh food every, at least every week. If they're not doing that, then they're not going to be able to cook at home. So we work on how satisfied are you with how much home cooking you're doing. Your home environment, where you live. Do you like the place you live? Does it feel good to you? Do you enjoy coming home? Do you manage it? Do you have do you keep it clean, or do you have somebody that cleans it so that your home is a good place for you to be? Relationships, this can be your spouse, your children, your brothers and sisters, your parents. How do you feel like you're doing with the relationships in your life, the most important relationships in your life? And then I guess your social life is kind of related to that. Like if you have good relationships with people, are you able to express that? Do you put time in your schedule for your social life, or are you a workaholic and you just don't ever have time for your friends? Then you would rate yourself fairly low in this. And then joy and spirituality, to me, those go together. It's like if you have some spiritual practices, if you have meditation or journaling or prayer or anything that you do that feeds your soul and it contributes to it, then your level of joy, that's really where the joy comes from, because joy isn't happiness. It's not your satisfaction with your circumstances. Because that can be pretty low sometimes, and you can still have joy. Even if other things in your life, some of the other things on the wheel are not up to your standards, you can still have joy. So,
right.
So those two go. So you'd rate yourself. You'd put a dot, and again, we're putting dots on the outside of the circle for feeling like that you're satisfied with where you are with that. So. So then you connect the dots. If you're doing this online, it'll do it for you. If you have a paper copy, and I could send you a link, Taryn, to a PDF that so people could print it out. If you could, can you link that to your? Can you provide that to people?
Yeah, we'll put it right over. Yeah, we'll put it right on top of where we're talking.
So if you're doing it by hand, if you have a paper copy and you put the dots on, with a pen or pencil, then you connect them, and the wider and rounder the resulting circle is, the
better,
more,
I guess, right?
Better you are, the more balanced you are, and the less you have to work on. But then we can kind of zero in it. When I'm working with a client, I can kind of zero in, like they're frustrated with their career. They're not moving where they want to go. They know they need to be going back to school, but they're not doing it, or they need to be asking for a raise or changing jobs or doing something. They're not doing it. So we kind of look at that and we talk about how that might tie into the weight loss. How are they managing their career, and how does that compare to how they're managing their weight loss? So they might get some insights into. And if they were to take action and move forward with those career goals that they have, they might find it easier to work on the weight loss. I think that a lot of times when people start going to the gym and they start working out, they may just kind of start eating better. Because they're inspired by what they're doing, and they see themselves getting in shape, and but they know that the exercise isn't going to have them lose any weight. So they think, well, I'm toning up my muscles and I'm really feeling good and looking good, and I want to look better. So the weight loss kind of ties in, and it makes it easier to do those two things together. I've seen that with clients a lot, with people that start personal training, and then they say, well, I just want to do a little bit more. So if you can get somebody to look at their circle of life and pick something that they feel stuck on, or if they feel kind of resonates with how they feel with their weight loss, then we have two things we can work on, and we can get the attention off the weight loss so they're not obsessing about it, and work on more than one thing, and maybe, accomplish something in which the better you feel about yourself, the easier it's going to be to manage your weight.
Very true. And it gives people momentum, doesn't it? That if they're having small little wins like that, then I could see that.
Right.
That makes total sense. Thank you for showing us that, Susan. That is such a cool tool.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get it to
No, that's all right. For the people watching, they'll see it on the screen, and they'll see that link of the PDF. And in fact, when we stop, as we fade to black, when we come to the end here momentarily in a few minutes, I'll also put that link up one more time with your information as well, just so that people have it. So that way, if they missed it, then go ahead and pause the video out and do it. But what are you finding, Susan? I know this is fairly new in terms of working with your clients on this, but are you getting good results and are you happy and satisfied? Oh, obviously it sounds like, I guess you are, if
Yeah, I
it sounds like
am.
a good tool.
I am.
Yeah.
The people that I'm working with right now are making slow and steady progress, which is what I
Good.
want to do. And
Right.
I had a client that was just, I've got to do this, now. And we talked about it, and she's had a couple of plateaus, which, I lost 50 pounds about 10 years ago. And it took me probably 8 or 9 months to do that. And I hit some plateaus, and that's just what happens. And a lot of people don't understand that. They get frustrated with plateaus, but are you back, Taryn?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear it now. Yeah, it
Okay.
flickered there. I saw that. Yeah.
Did you lose any of that?
No, it came through.
Good.
I could hear you, but I don't think you could hear me though.
No, I couldn't. Right. So,
yeah.
But I was talking. So pretty much it's, and then I've kept it off for almost 10 years now. So it's a matter of, and I've had I had a really bad setback during the pandemic. I gained 15 pounds.
I didn't know you gained wow, really?
Wow. It was,
I did not know that.
My husband was sick. He was at home and I was taking care of him. And when the gym closed, it's like I was taking care of him most of the day, but every morning I got to go to the gym and work with my clients. And that was kind of like, that was enough for me. That was like really giving me some time outside, and then I could come back and go by the grocery store and do stuff like that. So I was stuck at home pretty much with him all the time. But then, when the pandemic hit and the gym closed and I couldn't go anywhere, I was like 24/7.
Oh, wow.
And I had a few too many gin and tonics, actually.
Yeah, what you're saying, I'm sure most people watching and listening, they could probably all relate and totally understand.
It was hard for everybody. So
absolutely. Who's ever had such a big life-changing shift happen with a global pandemic where things literally shut down? Your whole life is directly affected by that. So there's totally understanding. I mean, for sure. We talked about the Family Life Center earlier when we were talking at the beginning. That place is still dead, Susan. Like there a lot of people are not coming back, I don't think, even after 3 years now. And we're seeing a lot of people that are still missing. And I know some people have passed on from there as well too, but the people who I would think would be coming back, they're not. That place is just really empty. Yeah, still very, very low activity.
I didn't realize that. I had been there a couple of times and it had been a little bit, I guess if you go in the morning, that's more likely when people are going to be there. So people do come for water aerobics classes and stuff like that.
Water aerobics. They do have the turn up for the Weight Watchers program, pickleball.
Right.
But other than that, like where I predominantly spend most of my time in the weight room and the cardio rooms, given amount of time, usually it's 2 or 3 people at most during the day. Yeah, it's really empty. But I think my theory is a lot of people after this happened are probably either used to doing their own thing, like maybe staying home. They've discovered, hey, I could be more efficient, whatever,
Not a Peloton or
Peloton. People probably just realized, hey, it's more efficient for me to get more work done. I could be here at home and do my own workout or whatever. And let's face it,
so many people won't do that.
It's true. That's a good point.
How many treadmills are gathering dust in people's basements? It's like they meant to do it, but it's hard to do it. And so I have personally always enjoyed doing a class. I mean, either working with a trainer or doing a class, just because it gets me there.
Oh yeah,
because I know that once I get there, I've got something scheduled, I'm going to do it.
But
it's really hard. It's hard at home to say, oh, well, am I going to drag my weights out now, or am I going to wait a half hour? Am I going to do something else? And then and you haven't done it. So So I'm just a big fan of having a buddy, at least having a buddy, at least having somebody that expects you to meet them at the gym or a class or a trainer or something that will get you there and get you to get it done.
Totally.
I mean,
I agree.
It's only going to be, you're only going to work out for a half hour. So,
yeah,
you might as well do it. So I'm sorry to hear that it hasn't been coming back over there.
Yeah. Like my business there has gone way down, but I've replaced it with in-home people for myself. And just like you pivoted, now you're doing online health coaching.
Exactly.
I just pivoted another way to just pick up more in-home people that, and some of them are actually former members of Family Life Center that just realized that they prefer to work out at home. So
at home,
and that's fine if they'd rather do that.
I don't really have the equipment. So how that's kind of curious how, I'd like to kind of pick your brain about what kind of equipment you have. If you've got to drive around.
For the most part, Susan, most of my people that I see either have some things that you need, like a ball, weights, dumbbells, what have you. Right. In the back of my trunk, it's kind of dark, so you probably can't see that in here, but in the back, there's bands, BOSU. I'm just thinking of what I have. Interchangeable dumbbell weights because they take up less space. A couple of kettlebells, a medicine ball, a wheel, a mat. What else do I have back there? TRX. That works great, as you know.
I love TRX.
Oh, absolutely. Because all you need, in my opinion, if someone has space, if they just have room, whether it's inside the house or even outside when it's really nice, it's all you need. I'm a big believer in that. You could do body weighted exercises.
Right, I know. I do a lot of body weight stuff too.
Yeah, when the pandemic first happened and the Family Life Center closed and all the gyms, even the YMCA was closed, I realized I was like, the only way I'm going to keep up with my strength training, I've got to pivot again and just figure out different ways. So I just I was one of those people going out there buying a bunch of equipment thinking, what would I do in my workouts? And that's what I did selfishly. I just bought my own equipment, all the stuff I just named back there in the trunk. And then I thought, well, if people, I used it. And then if my clients want to use it, great. But I think I'm a big believer, like space saving, like TRX and interchangeable dumbbells. I think that's important. So if you're going to travel and keep it in your car or have it at your home, even that way it doesn't take up as much room. I just believe that works better.
Yeah.
Well,
I might
Susan,
think about doing that. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, keep me posted because I'm curious. I'm so happy, to hear about everything going well. And, I'd love to do this again next month with you and just see how it's going as we get closer to the major holidays like Thanksgiving and everything else. But I want to thank you for your time. I know we'll let you go here, but before we do, a couple of things. Thank you so much again for walking us through that Circle of Exercise program, life program. And then also, if you could please provide us the best ways to directly get in touch with you. Maybe someone's watching needs your services or help as health coaching. And we'll get that information.
I do a consultation if somebody wants to talk to me about weight management. And I focus on working with seniors. So I'm happy to talk to anybody that has questions about that. So my website is finishwithaflourish.com. So all one word, and you can contact me through there.
Perfect. Okay, we'll put that on the screen, Susan. We'll also have that other link that you mentioned earlier about the PDF
I'll have to
link.
send that to you, right.
I will put that up so that way, as soon as people grab a pen and paper or what have you, they could pause it, freeze the screen. They'll be able to see it as it comes up with your other website here. But Susan, thank you as always. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Darren. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great. Oh, thank you. This is so much fun.
Bye.
And we'll talk to you next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, Susan.